Yo, what's good? Episode 201, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And it's just an episode, saw some topics you may want to hear about. Salute to you as well. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, whatever you do to help support the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. All streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor app, YouTube. Subscribe, leave comments, leave reviews. Thank y'all so much. This week, we have a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Miss Kieana in the building. Kieana, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I cannot complain. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
I wasn't hesitant about asking you, but I was like, Kieana, our relationship.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof, if you want to say.
Shut up.
I'm not going to even start there.
Good old Troy days.
Yes. All right. Funny. I'm glad you said that. Because you into photography.
Yes.
And we're going to get into all that. But you know how you have things, let's say you go to Disney World or something when you was younger. You always have that mental picture or whatever. So we in Troy, right? Mm-hmm. It was my first year in Troy.
Oh, my God.
And
was this 2013?
Yes.
Okay, my first year also. Okay.
So they had a little, what they call it, yard show by the TC. Whatever they used to do by the TC.
Okay, yeah.
So it was out there. I think it was the first one. I remember this clear as day. So I'm out there.
Was this during the daytime?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So I'm just out there just scoping the scene out, whatever. And I clearly remember you being the one smoking a black and mild.
I was.
I was like, who this girl smoking up? Like everybody, they probably had a cup or something.
No, I was smoking.
You was smoking? I don't know who the girl smoking.
Stressed. Do you know that is like leaving high school and going straight into college? Like I graduated June 1st.
Yeah.
And we had to be on campus by like July 15th.
Yeah.
Like, first off.
I remember that shit. I was like, who this girl smoking a black and mild?
Yes. I was smoking blacks faithfully. And I tell my folks this all the time. Like, when I was at Troy, I was a fucking wild card because I remember vividly going to class with a cup full of apple juice and Hennessy. 8 a.m. classes. 8 a.m. classes.
I took a couple of them myself.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, so
and then we partying from Thursday to Sunday.
Yes, that was good old days, though.
Yeah, when livers were okay.
I remember that because you were just.
Puffing.
I was like, for one, we on campus, and they clearly have no spot.
I didn't care. Did not care at all, and didn't get in trouble because they didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
They did not care at all.
Oh, good times.
All the time.
But I'm glad you said that. But Kieana, thank you for coming.
No problem.
Taking the time out your busy schedule to join me. And then first, before we start, let the people know a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind, to start off with.
So, I'm 28. I started doing photography when, I was like, officially business-wise, I was doing it once I got back home after my dad passed in 2015. So, August 17th, it'll be 7 years.
Wow.
Because that's his birthday.
Dope.
And that's when I was like, I'm really going to do it. But full time, I've been doing it for about 2 in May. And then from there, I think maybe I was like 12, 13 when I first picked up I was still in my mom's and my dad's camera. Like, all the time, my dad would be pissed because he lived in South Carolina. We lived here, and I'd be taking it with me. And I'd be like, hey, I have your camera.
So this is like, take a picture, you got to go to Walgreens or something, get it developed?
No, this is like, take a camera. It's like the small little point-and-shoot digital camera.
Okay.
So I would just pop it into my laptop.
Okay, USB?
Yeah, okay. USB. And then this is when, like, heavily edited pictures were coming out, like, borders around everything, words on it. This is
wallpaper
like,
type.
This is when, like, it was
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. When we first got on Facebook, it was a lot.
Dope. What's the name of your company?
So my business is Kieana Rochelle Photography. It was a sole proprietor. Now it's LLC, so it's Kieana Rochelle Photography.
What's the difference?
So sole proprietor is basically just like an individual. So it would be either under my social security or like a regular EIN, and it just be me by myself. But because I have my mom as my manager and my brother as security,
Family business.
yeah, I had to. So because it's more than me and I want to like do things the right way, even though sole proprietor, I did it for a while, I felt like having it as an LLC looked a lot better on paper, especially when it comes to like getting business loans, like my business credit and all of that.
Dope. So you said you doing it full time now. Yeah. So was there a time you were balancing a regular job plus photography on the side?
Yeah.
How was that?
Stressful. I was working at Life Touch, and I worked there for 3 years. And those 3 years, the first 2 were really good, but the last year when COVID hit, it was like really, really stressful because we were always in hot zones.
Yeah.
And these hot zones, it was high schools and middle schools. And at the time, we were in Macon and Albany a lot, and that's where it really popped off the most with COVID. So I actually had like a mental breakdown. I remember this vividly. I had a mental breakdown. We were in a van. We were in the truck. It was me and an older lady, Cheryl, and I remember just like she texted me when she was inside. She's like, "Hey, just got a phone call that this is a really bad hot zone. Like, the school actually just got shut down maybe like a week before, and everybody had to go home. Like, everybody has to be inside." And I'm like, and they still want us to work. Wow. They still want us to be here. Even though they gave us PPE, but it was really hard because, like, it was only me and her, and we had to do maybe like 400 seniors that day.
Oh, there's like senior pictures?
Yeah, seniors. So, like, you know how here in Columbus, we had the studio, so Prestige. Yeah. We were just able to go to the studio during the summertime, take our cap and gowns and our informals. For us, for the kids who don't have a studio close to them, we would literally have to pack up a van, drive to where they were, and then set up our studio.
Like at their house or something?
No, like at the school.
Okay.
So, like, if the school's already a hot zone and the kids aren't doing what they need to do, they're not there with their parents because at the time parents weren't allowed because of COVID. Yeah. They just didn't give a damn. As seniors, they don't, a lot of people didn't take it serious at the time. It was so many kids who were sick, so many kids who were like, "Oh, I can't come. I have to reschedule because I have COVID." I had a full-out mental breakdown. I'm emailing my boss. I'm like, "Look, I need a break. I've been working for like 14 days straight. I can't keep doing this." And he was just like, "I completely get it. I do, but y'all are the senior team. You're going to have to do it." Excuse me, what? You know. So I text my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, "Look, I think I'm going to leave Life Touch." He was like, "You for real?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just getting too much for me, and it's starting to make me hate photography." And I never want to do that because that's my passion. It started, like, I was more focused on work, my 9 to 5, that I was neglecting my business. And I was not seeing anything from it. I was not making people happy. So I was just like, So once I did that, I put in like a 2-month notice because I was just like, I'm not going to leave y'all high and dry, but I'm going to leave the last day of the season before Christmas break. So I left November 18th. By November 30th, my birthday, I already had a new job, a work-from-home job at DirecTV. From there, I think maybe from November to May, I was working that work-from-home job. May 15th, I was laying in bed. I boyfriend beside me, I was like, "I don't think I'm going to get up and work today." He was like, "You sure?" I was like, "I'm positive." Yeah. So I text my boss, my manager at the time, who I found out was my cousin. Yeah, I had no clue she was my cousin. Found out she was my cousin through my dad's side. I texted her, I was like, "By the time you get back to work," because she was on vacay, I was like, "By the time you get back to work, I'm not going to be there. I put in my resignation." She was like, "I was just waiting on you to tell me your business was going to come first finally." And then after that, I was just like full speed ahead, like not going anywhere. And ever since then, I haven't looked at a full-time job.
That's a dope story.
Thanks.
Betting on yourself at the end of the day. Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's not meant to be easy.
Yeah. And it wasn't even hard, like, booking-wise. It was more hard, like, mental-wise because you know this, as a black child being told, like, you're laying down for too long, you're not doing anything, you're lazy, when in reality, you're not lazy. It's just you.
That was the way the world was at the time. You working from home.
Yeah, working from home, like, and I got, like, really bad depression at that time, too, because it was just, like, I'm getting up.
Yeah.
Going straight to work. And
that was
then,
a rough period for everybody.
Yeah,
it was say something. Everybody.
And then not going outside. Like, my doctor told me, my doctor, she was like, you're vitamin D deficient. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you have you are little to none no vitamin D. If I didn't trust you, I would tell you to stay here so we can you're not putting an IV in me, ma'am. I hate needles. So what do I need to do? She was like, you need to go out and get some sun. Do you work from home? I was like, yeah, I told you this. She was like, you're gonna have to go outside. I was like, I don't have time to go outside. She was like, you're gonna have to make time.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was supposed to have like maybe a 30 for vitamin D at the time. I was at like a 5.
You was in,
barely coming outside, none of that.
So throughout all that, with the pandemic, switching jobs, then focusing on your passion, your career.
Yeah.
What do you learn throughout this process so far? What's one thing you can say you look back from, let's just say 2020.
Okay.
Because that's when you left your job, got a new job, that was like, I'm going full on betting on myself. What have you learned throughout that process?
I learned a couple things, but the most important thing was not overworking yourself. Like I was saying earlier, like we're taught at a young age, especially in the black community, like, if you're not up by a certain time on Saturday or Sunday, your parent is probably going to cuss you out and have you clean it up. Like, for me, it was more so of like, if I felt like I wasn't doing something, I felt like I was being lazy. Even if it was just like me going into my office, if I didn't put in at least like 5 to 6 hours of just work, I felt like I was lazy. And it came to a point where like I was overworking myself again. So I had to really take a step back and realize, like, look, I don't have to have all of these photo shoots set up to survive. If I focus on one main thing and put my pricing where it needs to be, then I should be good. So in Columbus, it's a lot of photographers. It's over, I think, maybe 50. When you look at the demographics of us, it's a handful of us who really do this full time in the black community. Like, when I think about black photographers doing this full time, it's only a few of us that I think of. So for me, it was more so of like, I have to start putting my pricing where I want it to be and not just dependent on what everybody else's prices is to get the type of photography, just to shoot all the time. I don't want to do that. So I focus more on weddings and business now.
Okay, and let's go into the mind of a photographer, because I like to bring people on who are into things that's not in my world. And not in my world in terms of I don't know nothing about it, but I just want to learn more about it. So when you first got into photography, you said you steal your dad's camera. When did you start getting more familiar with the type of camera you need for photography? Instead of just going to the store and getting a camera.
My mom got me my big camera when my dad first passed. She got me a Nikon D3200. And that's when I started playing around with things. When I really got serious, I would say maybe a few months after that. But when I really started learning the technical terms for it, it's maybe 2016. And then from 2016, that's when I started focusing more on the technical side of things. Like, YouTube University was my best friend.
Yep, still is mine.
Yeah, still to this day. And then I ended up working for Life Touch, and my manager at the time, I had 2 managers. Chris he just bet on me. I literally walked in, handed him my resume, handed him a link for my portfolio. He hired me right on the spot. And I quit. I was actually late for my job at the time. So I was working at GMC as a librarian. I planned to go to school again to be a librarian. And I was like, no, I can't do that. Yeah. Like, it's not something I really want to do. So then he bet on me, and then from there, my manager, Mr. Kenneth Miles, he's a photographer here in Columbus also, and he was just like, I'm going to teach you everything you need to learn. So from there, it was just like he was teaching me more. So for me, it was more so like, I know what to do, I just didn't know the names of it. I really didn't care the names of it. As long as the picture came out good, I was straight.
Yeah.
But with Mr. Kenneth, he gave me the technical abilities more to really focus on and to go through there.
So he was more as a mentor.
Yes. He was a big help
important.
to my business. That's big help.
Very, very important.
And I think that's another reason why I didn't leave as quick as I could have.
Respect.
When I was at Life Touch, because I was like, look, you have helped me so much. You've helped my business, and I don't want to leave you hanging. So I'll put in 2 months, but after that, I got to go.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And that's dope that you recognize that you want to be respectful. Like, you helped me. That's dope. I respect that. So going back to when you saying knowing where to set your prices at and everything. So in terms of not even talking about just taking the picture, just in terms of editing, uploading, turning it back in, or letting the client see it, when did you learn to know your worth in terms of pricing, knowing that, I got to edit it. It's not going to be, you don't want me to edit in an hour and send it back to you the same day. So when did that mindset become important to you?
I would say when it was right before I quit DirecTV. So right before, I think it was maybe January, February of 2020. Because I was so set on trying to get as many photography jobs as possible that I wasn't really focusing on how my worth was looking to everybody else. But this lady, Samika Phillips, this girl is like my sister. She's always been there. She's a huge, huge reason, like, I'm doing the photography the way I am now. She sat me down one day because I was just like, I'm not getting the clients I want. Like, she sat down and she was like, look, you cannot compete with everybody's pricing. You have to show them your worth. If you find your niche and they see that your photography for a wedding is only at like $400, they're going to go with you, but they're not going to have that much faith in you. And then, you'll get the clients, but they're not going to expect much from you. And for me, I was just like, I can't do that. So I did my cost of doing business. And my cost of doing business came with, like, how much am I spending in gas? How much am I spending in insurance? How much am I spending? If I drop a lens today, is a $200 contract gonna be able to cover my deductible? It's not. And is that gonna be able to cover me getting a new lens, a new camera? None of that. Is that gonna cover helping me with rent? No. So my cheapest package has to at least be $400. And that's cheapest package for like lifestyle photography. For weddings, because I'm giving you 4 hours of nonstop footage, my lowest pricing for that is $1,500. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I always wondered, like, I know you talk about that a lot, knowing your worth and everything.
You have to, because I love our city to death. I have to look at it like I cannot depend on just the basic average person trying to book me for a quick little 30-minute session. No, my sessions go for at least an hour. For events, it's a minimum of 2 hours. For weddings, a minimum of 4 hours. Like, I can't dumb my prices down just because your budget is a certain way. I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah, I can't. And then, like, the competition in Columbus, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's a perfect time to transition to working with people. If anybody got to work with people, it's a photographer.
Yes.
So let's ease our way into it.
Okay.
For you have your own website, right,
yes.
for your business. So how important is it for somebody to schedule a photo shoot, schedule to have you at their event, rather than come to you today on a Saturday and say, hey, Kieana, are you available Tuesday at 1 o'clock to...
I mean, I could make it work, but...
You prefer?
I prefer you to go on my website and to, like, go to the contact list. Let me know, because my contact sheet tells you, like, okay, where's it going to be at? Do you have a budget? Like, it's certain things I need to know, because when people immediately send their thing in, I immediately have an email that shoots out to them that's like, look, thank you for your inquiry. This is the flow that we're going to go with. So now that you've done the hard part by telling me everything, all I got to do is just shoot it into my contract, my proposal, and shoot it back off to you. All you got to do is look through it, accept it, sign it, pay your deposit, and then we're good. I used to be able to just be like, oh, yeah, today's Saturday. You need to shoot tomorrow on Sunday. Okay, cool. Just for some quick money. But that comes with the mindset of survival and thriving. Mm-hmm. So I can't continue to work based off survival because I'm not going to see anything through it. I'm not going to be mentally at peace. I'm not going to be mentally overexhausted. I can't do that no more. So it's all about thriving for me. And if I want my business to thrive and me to thrive peacefully, it has to be in order. Mm-hmm. It has to be, or I'm going to be a mess. Yeah. I'm going to be a mess.
Yes. So how important is it for your clients to show up on time or you be on time?
Okay, so I try to be at least 15 minutes early. When it's at a studio, so like Cedric CRC studio here, my studio Columbus, which is off Whittlesley. Okay. I at least try and be there 15 to 10 minutes early. I would hope that my client is 15 to 10 minutes early. Mm-hmm. And I always give them that because, you know, I get traffic. I get you maybe coming from a different side of town. But after a good 15 minutes, it's a late fee charge. Because not only are you paying for my time, but you're paying for the studio's time also. And with Cedric, the minute your time starts is the minute your time starts with him. Like, I'm not going to, and then rescheduling, I can't reschedule you that same day unless I have an opening and unless Cedric has an opening. So his rescheduling fee is cheap. Yeah, it's $15, but then we have to reschedule it because, like, what if later on that day your makeup doesn't look good? What if later on that day something happens to your outfit? You know, traffic, what if it's raining? So I highly appreciate those who are early on time. Yeah. Those who are late, I don't have an issue with, but it is a late fee. Like,
yeah. It's respectful to your time as well.
It's a late fee when you're not showing up on time, and it's a late fee when payment isn't made.
Oh, of course.
So, like, yes. So, like, for the ones who do studio and, like, regular lifestyle photo shoots and maternity and portraits, it's you have until the day of for you to do your pricing. I meant for you to do your remaining balance. Mm-hmm. For weddings, it has to be a month out. Because for weddings, you've taken up a full day of other shoots that I could have done compared to taking on yours. And it's not a problem. I don't have an issue with that. It's more so like, I just want you to be mindful of everybody's time and everybody who my business missed out on. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I have a lot of people who are blacklisted.
Damn, Key.
It's not just for being late. Like, a lot of people are blacklisted because, like, you wait until the day of to want to send me your deposit, or you wait until the day of to, like, oh, well, can we push it back this, and this? We can push it back, but it's going to be a late fee. Yeah. It's going to be an inconvenience fee because it's inconveniencing me. And it's inconveniencing momager, it's inconveniencing security, it's inconveniencing everybody, not just myself, and I have to look at that. But that also led me into, my business is what led me into being on time all the time. Mm-hmm. Because Troy, I was late for classes every day. 8 a.m. class,
this chick.
I'm walking in at 8:15. Like, roll has already been called. I have to raise my hand, yeah, I'm here, like, I was a late person, truly.
So it helped you mature.
Yes, it definitely helped me mature. But with the girls, with my friends, my best friend. Now, the wedding, no. My best friend's wedding, no. I was never late for that. Any of those events, never.
Rehearsal, no. Dinner?
Nope, because I was with them.
So they made you.
They made me. But all of my friends are always late anyways. But our Christmas party, me and my best friend, we were at my house chilling. He was like, I'm going to go to sleep. I was like, it starts at 8:30. He was like, we won't be there till 9:30. I was like, fuck, okay.
Now, party's different.
Yeah, party's cool. But, like, and it's not just, now, if it was, like, a big, like, formal party, then I'm going to be there on time. But this is, like, the Christmas party. Like, I know everybody getting lit. You know.
Show up fashionably late.
Yeah, you know. But they be keeping me on track.
That's good. You need people like that in your life, especially in your circle.
Because momager, she
gonna be number one.
Man, she called me the other day. She was like, you know you got a podcast? I said, I know. She was like, you sure? I was like, I'm positive. It's on my calendar. She was like, okay, I'm just making sure because you told me to remind you. I was like, yes, I have it. She's like, what time? I said, it's on the calendar. She was like, did you put in travel time? I did. I did.
I wasn't going to be on you like that.
But I just hate inconvenience. Like, I hate when people inconvenience me, so I don't want to inconvenience nobody else.
That's yeah. I respect it. So back to photography world.
Yep.
I'll say this somebody I had to ask a friend of mine. I said, "Hey, I got a photographer coming. Is it a question you think I should ask?" They said, "Is it true a photographer has a certain eye?"
Yes.
That a normal person.
Yep.
So can you explain that for me? What is the eye?
So the eye is, we can see something and we can see minute details that nobody else can. So for me, like, okay, so you see that behind you?
This.
Yep. Okay. I can tell that top piece right there in the left corner. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, two spaces over, it's lifted.
Oh, I can't see it.
It's lifted and it's a little crooked. So, like, I can tell certain minute details. Mm-hmm. So, like, I can tell when something's off center. I can tell, like, I can look at something and immediately think, oh, I know what I could do with that. Mm-hmm. I know immediately when I look at something that I want to turn something into black and white, or I want to, like, drop the highlights or up the darks when I'm editing. It's just the small things. So I ask my clients on the contact sheet, like, what is the vision that you have for this? Like, one of my close friends, Alicia, she is doing a ethereal type of vision that she wants because she's very spiritual and she just had her first baby. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, do you have any inspiration behind it? Like, if you have any pictures or any inspiration, send it to me so I can see what your thought process on this is and I can connect with it. Because if I can't connect with it, then I'm just shooting for you. Mm-hmm. And granted, that's okay, but I want it to be something I'm proud of. I want it to be something that I can full force put behind my name and be like, this is something that I absolutely love. Like, I want to love every single shoot that I do. I don't want it to just be like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I just did it because they wanted it. Like, no, I have to be able to connect with the project for me to really put my full creative, like, vision behind it.
Okay, you keep on leading me to my next points, too, by the way. So you're great at this. I just want to say that. How do you feel about people who do photo shoots with some of the most ignorant, pouring milk and cereal on? Like, how do, as a photographer, seeing that on the timeline, and you like, okay, I get art, but come on now.
I can tell when a woman does it and when a man does it.
As a photographer, like who shoots it, or the model?
As somebody who shoots it and somebody comes up with it.
Okay.
With some male photographers, like some of my favorite male photographers, like Chad Lawson, Cam Kirk, like I can tell when they have the creative mind behind it and when it is really their passion compared to a man who just wants to take photos of hot girls and wants to, you know,
go viral
or get a little piece. Like, I can tell the difference. Like, here in Columbus, you can tell the difference of, you can look at Deion Jackson's work and Delonte, and you can see their work and know that this is their passion compared to when you see stuff on Instagram and they're just going viral. A lot of ignorant things get most attention. And even if it's not the best attention, it still brings attention. It still brings some type of attention to that person's name.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's when they say not all attention isn't good or bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, you would never see me doing it. Ever. If it's not a set, like, vision behind something, I'm not going to do it. I don't know. You're not going to ask me to have somebody rub your ass down with baby oil, excuse my language, and sit here and post it on Instagram just because you want to. No, you're not finna be like. I remember this picture went viral years ago of this girl and she had icing on her butt.
Icing?
Yeah, icing from a cake. And I get it because, like, you know,
Yeah.
you want to go viral, but when you want to do certain things, you have to look at the attention you're going to get and the attention your model's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't ever want to put somebody into a position to where they have to defend their name against something that's not tasteful and not something that's going to put something like a bad look on them. Yeah. That's something you don't ever want to do. To me, wise.
And a lot of times when they do stuff like that, they don't even tag the photographer.
Yeah, no.
So.
Because they know, like, it's not gonna.
I know that's the thing I see a lot too, at least on Twitter, when artists will post a picture from like a homecoming concert or something, and the person like, dang, like, bro, they even tagged me. Like, can y'all go on his Instagram post and
artist recognition,
credit wise? You know?
Yeah, so like. For me, when I send out my photos, I send you a whole email that says your gallery is ready. Mm-hmm. Word of mouth is the best, to me, the best marketing that I can get. Mm-hmm. So I would really appreciate it, like, if you just tagged me, or like if you can't find my ad, here's my website, here's all my information if you ever pass me along. Like, I'd really appreciate it because word of mouth is a huge portion of my business when it comes to marketing. You know, we're in the Twitter world.
Yeah.
To me, Twitter is a lot easier to navigate when it comes to just getting my work out there compared to Instagram. One, the algorithm. Two, chronological order is everything to me now.
Instagram, oh my God.
It is. And, you know, now you can do it.
Yeah.
They let you switch it. But, like, and now everything is a reel. Now everything is a TikTok. Now everything is a video. And even though I've started getting into that, sometimes I just want to post my picture and be like, here's a dope shoot. Here you go. On Twitter, it's easier to get recognition from that because my mutuals are a lot of photographers or a lot of people who I know personally. So for me, it's easier to retweet, like, all of that compared to Instagram where it's just I got to use hashtags.
Wild West.
Yes, it's hard. Yeah. It is hard if you don't know how to do it correctly.
Yeah, that's something I want to ask a lot of. I've asked a lot of people who create about algorithms and which social media platform they prefer. I always get a different answer. One be TikTok, the other be Instagram, one be Twitter. It just show you the way the world is. You just got to post everywhere too, though.
It's easier for me to post on Twitter. It's but a lot of my clients come straight from Facebook. When I look at my leads, because I can see my leads that come in, Facebook is my biggest one every single time. Like, Facebook leads are a lot more easier to meet than it is on Twitter because a lot of my Twitters are out of town. Like, a lot of my mutuals are, like, just people in the industry who we followed back and forth for years and all of the, like, one of my closest mutuals, Jasmine, she's a whole freaking flight attendant from the DMV. Like, she'll retweet my stuff and they'll be like, oh, where's she at? She was like, she's based out of Columbus, which is an hour from Atlanta, so might as well just, like, say Atlanta at this point. And that's what she's big on marketing with her stuff. Like, she is, right now, her stuff is going viral on TikTok and Instagram, and she's like, you need to hop on this. And I'm like, girl, I don't know how. Like,
I just learned, like, TikTok took for, I think, January when I hopped on. But you got to use it. Trust me, it's...
Yeah. Now, TikTok has worked out really well personally for me. Mm-hmm. Instagram has worked out when it comes to, like, leads and just, like, getting more followers and getting, like, the look to go on my profile and follow me. Mm-hmm. But that Facebook is something about Facebook.
Home base.
That's just, like, because I know everybody that's on my Facebook. I know, and then it's not even like my business Facebook, it's my personal Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like, my best friend, we're all, like, I'm in all of these groups, and my best friends tag me every single time. Anybody need a photographer? Kieana Maynard.
Facebook groups.
Like, them Facebook groups go hard for you every single time.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. People think I just be saying stuff just sound cool.
No.
Facebook groups, where it's at.
Facebook groups.
When the photography, go to the photographer.
Yep.
Facebook, is a lot of them, too. Just one is...
Oh, my God, it's so
a lot
many.
of them.
And for a lot of me now... For a lot of my clients and my brides, mostly, it's like it's like a Georgia Southern wedding group. And
very specific, particular group.
Like, you have to niche your business down for you to go into these groups so you know exactly where your bread and butter is coming from. That's how I got most of my clients last year, was posting in that group, telling them like, look, anybody from this group, you'll get a $300 discount. You book with me, you're getting a $300 discount. Like, I'm showing pictures, and leads were just coming in. So yeah, it's those Facebook groups do something for you every single time.
Facts. When did you get to that point? Because everybody knows as a creator, it's easy to create.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Yeah.
easy to create. The hard part is people like, I don't know if people want to see this.
Meshing with your vision.
I don't know if this is what the platform I'm posting it to. I don't think nobody want to see this. So when did you get over the point where like, hey, either way, I got to put it out so people can come, and it's a business. So you want some income coming off of it too.
For me, that leads back to knowing my worth. When I figured out my worth, I also figured out like, you cannot, like Samika told me, I cannot compete with people who are doing something different than me. Like, I just can't, because I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm a cup of champagne, a flute glass of champagne, a crystal flute glass.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
I ain't a cup of tea. I'm a glass of champagne.
I am.
I'm still in that.
You can. But, like, that's what I have to realize. Like, I cannot, if one of my friends is doing a $99 sale on Valentine's, yes, I want to do Valentine's shoots, but I'm not going to dumb my prices down to where I can't survive off of it. And I know where most people are going to go is that $99 photo shoot where they get hella edits back. You're not getting all those edits back from me, because it's so many people that want these type of shoots and so many people who are offering these type of shoots. And granted, everybody's going to eat. That's no competition there at all. Everybody's got to eat. But it depends on what your vision is and how you run your business. Excuse me. I cannot sit here and say like, oh, yeah, my shoots are $150 when Tyrone down the street's doing $75 shoots, and that's where you want to go because your budget. I get it, but that's not my client. That's not my ideal client. And that's where you have to realize when you do your cost of doing business, you also have to account for your type of client that you're looking for, the type of client you want to attract. I don't want to attract all that. What I want to attract is the one who's going to use my biggest thing that I tell all my clients is I take the smallest moments that you don't even think are big, and I make them just as big as your big moments. So even like for my brides, like the small little whisper in the ear that your groom is giving you and you're cheesing your behind off while everybody else is dancing, that's one of the biggest moments that you're going to look back and give to your grandkids.
All right.
It's not like, oh yeah, we did this huge shoot. It's a Valentine's Day shoot or it's a Christmas Day shoot. Yeah, those pictures mean something, but are those the ones that you're going to keep in a photo album?
Okay. So once again, you lead me to my next point. So is it a situation where all the events you do or all the photo shoots you do, you have like complete creative control of what you shoot, or do they tell you, hey, I only want shots of this, this, and that?
So for my brides, I ask them, do you want me to have full creative control, or do you just want a shot list? I usually give them a basic shot list, which they'll tell me, like, we want first looks, we want getting ready. You can tell me what you want, and then I'll go in and I'll do, like, my creative vision for it. So one of my brides, Whitney, who is now, like, a sister to me, she was like, look, you have full creative control. I was like, I'm going to give you a basic shot list. You just tell me what you want. She was like, okay, I want getting ready, ceremony, reception. I was like, that's it? She was like, that's it. You know everything else. So I try and get to know my clients. I ask them about their love story. I ask them, is there anything specific that you want me to take a picture of? Is there any, like, deaths in the family that you want me to honor? So, like, my bride, Julia, who I was telling you about earlier with the red wine on her dress, she was like, look, we have a lot of people who passed in our family. And me and her actually connected because her dad passed the same way my dad passed. Mm-hmm. And her dad passed on my dad's birthday. So, like, we've always, first off, in high school, you know, you're going to be separate. Like, the way they do the classes by last name.
Okay.
I was Manor, she's Mancini. So we were right there every single year, right behind each other.
Okay.
And we just built that connection. So now when my dad died, she reached out. She was like, look, I know it's hard. I know you're going through it. I've been through this. If you ever need anything, I'm here for you. I knew her dad was a big part of her life. So for me, honoring her dad and honoring her grandmother and her family was really big for me because I know that was a huge turning point for her, how she changed in her life. So I want to know like the nitty gritty. I want to know like the first love story. Like I had one couple, they were like, we're going to do a smoke session. I want that photographed. I was like, okay, cool. Like, she was like, we first met at a kickback. I rolled up and that's how we met, you know? And I was like, okay, from there, like, I want to know the small details to make it really important. So when you tell your grandkids, like, yeah, me and your granddaddy met when I was at a party.
Yeah.
You could hand them that picture. She was like, this is what we was doing. Like, this is part of our love story. I want to make that happen. I want to make that a pinpoint.
So how does it feel knowing that you can create those memories for people, whether it's weddings, birthdays, Valentine's, anniversaries? How does it feel knowing that they can show their grandkids within some 10, 20 years and say, yeah, Kieana, we went to school together. This is our story with our dads. She took this picture. How does it know that your name is going to be brought up?
Honestly, it makes me really happy. And I say that just because, like, when I'm done with a photo shoot, usually people are tired. Like, I get to the point where I'm like, I can't wait to edit. Like, I can't wait to go home and edit. Like, I used to dread editing, but now, man, my brides get previews within 24 hours. They get at least 15 photos because, like we said, this is the day and age of social media. When you get married, you automatically want to drop a picture like, look what I bagged.
Yeah.
I just did it. Like, yeah.
Quick turnarounds.
Yeah, quick turnaround. So, like, even though it's a month-long process of me editing your photos, the entire gallery, you at least have, like, the first kiss. You have a picture of, like, the first look. You have a picture of you getting ready, of him getting ready, at least with your parents or something small that you can just post on social media and be like, I did it.
Yeah, more coming soon.
Yeah, more coming soon. Like, that is for me, that is one of the biggest things I can give somebody.
That's
is
dope.
just a picture that they can keep. And that runs me back to why I started photography. Because my mom, at 18, fresh out high school, she moved and went to Hawaii. Left North Carolina, went straight to Hawaii, and she picked up a camera, and the first picture she took was her flying in. And we have tons and tons of photo albums of just constant photos when she was in Hawaii, and that's what really stuck with me. Like, I want to be able to give the smiles that I see on my mom when she talks about Hawaii and her friends, and when she looks back at those photos, those have been etched in my brain for decades at this point. And I want that same type of, when I think of somebody looking back at photos, I want them to be like, dang, that wedding was amazing. My photographer was so great. They got every picture I needed. Like, that's what I want to give somebody.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love to see the commitment because just hearing you talk about it, like, I don't even got to ask certain questions because you went over it already. But I love seeing people that's committed to something in this day and age we in with our generation. People like to hop from one thing to the next. It's dope to see someone sticking with something that they passionate about and seeing the results.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I love to see.
If I could jump around and do anything, I wouldn't, because, like, I found what makes me happy.
Exactly.
Now, granted, it's different avenues to it, but, like, just picking up my camera, it just makes me happy. Like, I started working at, you may think I have a busy schedule with photography. Man, started working at Baker Middle School with my mom.
Baker Middle School. They still around?
Yes, not the high school.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about over there on Victor. That's what I'm thinking.
It's right there. So remember, it's the Girls Inc. Then it was Baker Middle School Baker High School right beside it. They tore down Baker High School, put Walmart there.
Yeah.
Baker Middle School is there now, but it's by Frank Chester.
Okay.
So I work there now, and I'm in a social studies class, and I love helping kids. That's just, like, I don't know, just being able to mold a sixth grader is just really happy for me. It makes it does something to my spirit.
We need that.
Yeah. So, like, especially on the south side of Columbus, where it's a lot of kids who are doubted and a lot of kids who don't have that push, I want to be able to do that for them. So I was talking to the principal, and I was like, look, what do I have to do to, like, bring a photography class here? Like, it's a lot of students who are very creative. So right now he has me actually in charge of taking photos of all the sports teams. He has me taking photos of, like, all the events that happen. And then now he has me in charge of the yearbook. Oh. So if I do good with all of this, he's trying to put me in the lane of becoming the photography teacher, or at least having a photography class there. Yeah. So I can help the kids out, because kids have yearbook. Like, I remember middle school, we had yearbook, but, like, kids on the South Side don't really see much of that. Like, they think the only way out is sports, rapping, yeah. And, like, let's be for real.
There's a lot of different ways you can go. You don't just stick with sports and rapping.
It's more ways to get out of Columbus and to get out of your situation and to bring money to your family than what you're trying to get. Like, nowadays, a lot of these young kids is running the streets. Like,
yeah, see what happened last night.
Yeah, like, a lot of these kids is, like, losing their lives because it's no real people in their lives telling them, like, look, this is wrong. Like, I remember us growing up, man, we not finna be in the streets. Like, the old heads on the block was not messing with young folks like that. Like, they was more so like, no, you need to take your behind to school. Like, what are you doing out here? A lot of that's not going on no more.
They need it now more than ever.
Yeah,
I don't care if you go to college for 6 months, a year. Like, just leave for a minute.
Even if it's community college.
I'm a CVCC.
CVCC
it matured me because I was not ready to go to college after high school.
And the crazy part is,
CVCC saved me.
Look, I went to Troy immediately after I left, and I was not prepared for it at all. And when I left, I left right before my dad died, and I told him, I was like, look, I think I'm gonna leave school, even though I'm off, like, probation and all that. I just don't think it's right. He was like, you started too early, you were not ready, and that's all right. I was like, I just don't like a big thing for me of why I was so stuck in everything, and I think a big thing for a lot of Black kids of why they stick to what they're doing, even not even Black kids, like, people of color, period. A lot of us stick to what we're doing because we don't want to disappoint our parents, because we see the struggle that our parents went through, and we're like, they're banking on me. I got to help my family. I got to do this. You ain't got to do nothing. You didn't ask to be here. All you got to do is just stay Black and die. Like, that's it. Like, that's for real. Like, and now that, like, a huge part of me was like, I got to do this. I got to stay in school. I don't want to disappoint my folks, man. My mom and my daddy was not disappointed. They was more disappointed that I stuck around so long.
Yeah, spending their money.
Yeah, spending their money and not telling them, like, I'm not really happy. Yeah. But, like, a lot of parents aren't like
college,
that.
It ain't for everybody.
It's not.
School not for everybody. Man. I say this, in today's world, 2023.
You ain't got to have no degree behind you.
Trust me, you do not. Because these jobs, it's high paying jobs to where you don't need it. You can go anywhere.
A lot of these jobs are now banking on millennials and Gen Z to have 1,000+ followers before a degree in their name.
Yeah.
Even before an
associate.
Especially
in show business. Like,
yeah, like a lot of these kids, I know a lot of the kids at the Baker, like YouTube and TikTok.
They know how to get on it,
They know how to get on it and do it. Like, my kids, man, like, these kids, they literally take my phone and my iPad and they're doing vlogs. They're like, Miss Maynard, post it. Put me on your... No, I can't put you on my social media. You can't be my friend on social media till you out of high school. Yeah. But what I can do is support you. Like, one of my kids, Jaquavius, he's the smartest thing in the world. Like, he's so smart, so sweet. He's over the announcements every single day. He's like, Miss Maynard, I started my YouTube. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you when I post so you can go subscribe to me. I'm editing when I'm, like, right now. Like, he would literally come to school editing, and I'm like, that's what you need to do. Like, I want to focus on that. I want to push those kids to think outside the box, because we didn't have it.
No, we didn't.
You got to go to school. You got to go to school. That's the only way you're going to make it. And a lot of our parents taught that because they were latchkey kids. Like, you need to go to school and make somebody else up. No, you don't.
Not the only way in the world.
It's not.
You got kids on YouTube right now playing with toys, getting millions of views. Just playing with toys, eating. And just
I remember, it's a little Asian boy.
Ryan.
Yes.
My cousin.
Man, that boy making bank. He retired his entire family.
I couldn't stay
off reviewing toys to the point where now
Ryan's toy review.
Yeah, his own thing is in Walmart. Like, he got his own slime. He got his own, like, stuff. Like, there's so many ways that you can get out of your situation.
All right. So, speaking of different avenues and ways to go, you still podcasting?
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah. We just had a new episode drop. Well, it's very scarce.
Okay.
It is very scarce.
I'll keep on talking. I'm week by week, so I'm thinking everybody.
No,
okay.
so like we were week by week, you know that. But once my soul sister, now that we've announced it, she's announced it. She ended up getting divorced. She's going through a divorce, and throughout her divorce, but also her working, she got a full-time job at CSU now, so she's more busier than what we both were. And now that I'm focusing more on helping at the school and my business, it's rare when we are able to get away. Like, I think 2 weeks ago we recorded. Yeah. Like, after that,
shit time consuming.
Yeah, and even though it's cool, it's never a dull moment with her. But it's just like, we got to figure out, take time out of our day. And she's actively dating now. So it's like, girl, hop back on the horse. Don't worry about me. We'll record when we'll record.
Back on the horse.
Yeah, like, it's like, we'll record when we'll record, you know. As long as we're active on our social media and we keep everybody updated, then we're good. But, like, you know, the podcast is living by thread, but it's living.
I'm here for y'all. I want everybody. I would love for more people around here to do one. For good stuff, bad stuff, the ratchet shit. I just want to see it all. Because people on Facebook, they think it translates well on the microphone. Yeah. But I'm like, fam, on Facebook, the statuses that y'all steal. Like, they ain't gonna hit the same when you on this microphone.
When you're on the mic is way different. Way, way, way different. Because you don't know the demographic you're hitting. And we see that nowadays. These TikTok podcasts going viral. Like,
it's a tough mountain to climb.
Especially now that book talk is going viral, you could definitely do that. Dudes with deep voices, do you not know?
Oh, I know.
Look, I am heavy into the book talk community. Okay? Women are obsessed right now with these books where all you got to do is just read. Just read to them. You will have a huge following, I'm telling you.
I'm going to start that.
Do it.
Might have a slow news week. Might need to.
Do it. I'm telling you. Just try it once. But it can't be like no little regular. It got to be like one of them books that's like very inappropriate. Like, we call them smut. It got to be one of them books.
Are they on? I just downloaded a couple weeks ago. What's this? Audible. Do they have any? All right. That's why I've been getting mine in.
Yeah. See, I've been reading nonstop lately. Like,
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
ain't
last
bad
year,
thing.
but it's not a bad thing. But it takes up a good amount of my time. Last year, I did 418 books. Yeah, I mean,
that's better than saying I watched these many shows and
on
movies.
Goodreads.
I'd rather you say books than
on Goodreads. It's like, it helps you count your books on Kindle. So yeah, I read 418 books last year. My challenge was only 80. Damn. This year, my challenge.
Abolish that.
Yeah, my challenge is 60, but I know I'm going to overexceed it because I'm already at 50 books that I've read so far.
Yeah, we're still in February.
Yeah. You know?
It's a good thing. It ain't like I said, it ain't like you saying I'm watching 5 Netflix movies a day.
Man, I literally have Netflix just playing.
Yeah.
While I'm reading.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm going to be on my phone and I'm going to have some downtime, I'm definitely going to be reading with the face mask on. That is my decompression. Especially with business and like, I thought my phone was on silent. Especially with my decompression and all of that. Yeah, no. That's the best way to go.
All right, dope. So we've been here for a minute, so I want to end this with some questions. Just 3 random questions, not no regular degular. These are catered for you.
Okay.
What or who would be your dream photo shoot?
Dream photo shoot.
It could be an event or a certain person.
I wouldn't even say. Honestly, my dream photo shoot is not. It's a wedding. It's got to be an over the top wedding.
Location.
somewhere tropical. We could do Hawaii because it's stateside, because it's states. But if anything, I would love, 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 love to shoot a wedding in Cuba, back where my mom's family is from. And then I want it to be featured in Vogue. Vogue weddings. I stalk Vogue weddings. Like literally stalk weddings on Vogue. And if I could just have one of my weddings showcased in Vogue, that is like the biggest. It's not even like it's I don't care what it is, but a Vogue wedding, that's what I want.
Okay. Which one I want to say next? Okay, it's a good one. What do you think is in the future of photography, in the big picture, not just with you, in the big picture? Will it be new editing, new camera ways of shooting?
Honestly,
drones possibly? How do you feel?
drones are already out there. I would say the thing that I'm noticing the most right now is everybody's getting back into film. 35 millimeter, medium format. Everybody is getting back into film. And I'm loving it. I love seeing my film shots. A lot of people, that is the biggest thing that I think is going to be next, is a lot of people are going to get back into the technical side of things. And even though it's still like social media, a lot of the people that I follow are now doing film and then scanning their film to go on their social media. I think that's what's big right now. I think that's gonna take it out there for a minute. Like film format is what's gonna happen big next.
Okay, last question. What does the future hold for Kieana Rochelle Photography?
Thinking of moving outside of Georgia. So, that is the biggest thing right now. Just trying to see where I want to relocate. If I want to relocate back home, and when I mean home, Fayetteville, North Carolina, that's where I was born and basically raised like the first couple years of my life. So, there, or if I want to just like randomly pick a spot and just start all over. More weddings. I'm hoping to at least have like 14 to 20, like I was telling you, the end of this year, to where I don't have to worry about anything. And probably more mentorship. I want
Receiving more or giving?
giving more. Like for me, like I was saying about the school, I want to be able to say like Kieana Rochelle Photography helped this school, or like a big sponsorship came from Kieana. Like I want to be able to sponsor kids and like take them on trips to show them like this is what you can do with your photography. This is where it could take you. I want to be able to do that. I think that's next.
That's dope. Yeah. Great mindset to have.
Thanks.
All right, so I appreciate you for coming, but to end this off, I like to give the people some advice.
Okay.
Just a good word before we head up out of here. Can you do that for me?
My biggest thing I would say, don't compare yourself to everybody else. A lot of these cities and a lot of creators, they look at it as more of crabs in a bucket instead of helping somebody. And don't ever forget that as a creative, you're constantly learning. You cannot be the best if you are just stuck in one mindset of, oh, I know everything. No, you don't, because everything is constantly evolving. So continue to learn. YouTube University is still one of my favorite places. TikTok has now become like a huge learning platform when it comes to creatives. And to like stop doubting yourself.
This has been a very good interview. Thank you, Kieana.
You're welcome.
I was able to orchestrate it very, very well. You gave me a lot of information. You answered a lot of my questions the best way possible. I mean, I was able to enter your world for a minute.
Yeah.
And, thank you for coming.
No problem.
Thank you for
Thanks
coming.
for having me.
No problem. This has been episode 201 of Stash House Podcast. Let you guys go out, have a great week, great work week, great school week. Enjoy yourselves. Drink plenty of water. Stay prayed up. Catch y'all here same time next week. Keep me in your prayers. Do the same for y'all. Salute.